Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Unfortunately, the Cowboys got a W tonight. That's never a good night, but man, that was just a battle of two terrible teams. Daniel Jones and the Giants, what was it? 5 field goals, no touchdowns. The Giants are just a trash organization. They're so bad. Daniel Jones, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 24 carries for 1.1 yards. Are you joking? The Giants should just pack it in and just quit for the year and get a number one pick because they're a joke. Without Malik Neighbors, this team would be even worse somehow. Malik Neighbors, such a great performance. 12 catches, 115 yards. They just can't score touchdowns, guys. They can't score touchdowns at all. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to watch, man. The Giants are just so bad. And the Cowboys aren't much better. Not much better. Dak Prescott was pretty efficient tonight, though. 22 of 27, 221 yards, average of 8.2 yards per pass attempt, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And that's what won them the game. They weren't like, doing crazy stuff and, putting fear in anyone. But, man, a lot of injuries for the Cowboys tonight. Micah Parsons got carted off. Lawrence is hurt. I mean, the injuries are really piling up for the Cowboys right now. So moving forward, they don't have an easy schedule. They got to go play the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. Good luck with that. The Cowboys' schedule is tough, guys. They got the Steelers, the Lions, the 49ers, the Falcons, the Eagles, then the Texans. Woo! Baby, that's a tough stretch. Tough stretch coming up for the Cowboys. They'll be lucky to go 500. Let me know in the comments below, what games are you looking forward to this week? There's a lot of really good ones. That Vikings-Packers game looks like an absolute ton of fun. I'm really excited for that game for sure. I'm excited to see if the Jets can get another W over the Broncos. The Bills and the Ravens should be a lot of fun. Tons of really fun games to watch this week in the NFL. The Cowboys get it done, barely beating a horrendous Giants team on the road. Just tough to watch that football game, man. Not a lot of great football being played right now for the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants. Yeah, I'm excited for the Jets to get a W. The Vikings got a tough game against the Packers. I think Diddy likes baby oil way too much. That's my opinion. Malik Neighbors tore it up tonight, 12 catches, 115 yards. He's the real deal, man. He's a true number one wide receiver. But they couldn't run the ball at all against literally the world's worst rush defense. The offensive line, everyone on the Giants not named Malik Neighbors is complete trash. Well, Dexter Lawrence is pretty good. Brian Burns is okay. But on the offense, they should just, hit the eject button on everyone. The NFL has been anything but boring this year, Ryan. The amount of upsets, huge home favorites getting blown out. The NFL this year has been more unpredictable, than it has ever been, man. I think it's been anything but boring. The Jaguars haven't scored over 17 points all year long. What makes you think they're going to beat Houston on the road? Hey, Nicole, go buzz off. Christina Amaral, that sounds like a beautiful name. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yep, Vegas cleaned up. I read a report that 80% of all the bets that came in Vegas last week was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cover the spread. Vegas has been cleaning up. I mean, the Vikings are playing unbelievable football. If you think the Jaguars and the Vikings are even close talent-wise, you're not watching enough football, my friend. Because the Jacksonville Jaguars have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. And, bottom 5 offensive line. Not to mention trash wide receivers. The Jaguars are a dumpster fire, man. If you go on PFF and look at all the Jacksonville Jaguars players' grades over the first 3 weeks, you're going to want to throw up in your mouth. That's how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars have been this season. Horrible. 30th in points scored, 28th in points allowed. Horrible. They're ranked overall 30th, offense 28th, defense 25th. The Jaguars are a disaster, man. I know they had a lot of opportunities, Browns, to win that game. The Eagles are so banged up, man. It doesn't look like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, or Lane Johnson are going to be playing in this game. It's going to be an uphill battle. The Buccaneers are banged up as well, too, but, it's going to be a close game. Here are the grades for the secondary for the Jaguars. Ronald Darby has been playing pretty well, 73 grade, but he's 100 years old. He's going to be 31 soon, and that's not going to last. Brown, the other cornerback, horrible, 63 grade. Johnson, the safety, 44 grade. Cisco, the other safety, 39 grade. They're terrible. This offensive line, left tackle, 54 grade. Right tackle, 46 grade. Right guard, 52 grade. Left guard, 66 grade. The Jaguars are a horrendous team this year. They've been playing super terrible. Yeah, Alan, I don't understand why the Dolphins haven't went and tried to make a trade or kind of go out and get, what's Ryan Tannehill doing? What's Tom Brady doing? Oh, and I like the Bills in that game. If you look at the stats from the Ravens-Cowboys game, the Ravens played an incredibly sloppy game. They were terrible on third down. They had 13 penalties. So, how do the Browns win that game? You're not going to have 13 penalties for over 100 yards and beat the Bills. The Bills have scored 30 points or more in every single one of their games this year. And the Ravens, they don't look good. You know what I mean? They're very inefficient. They haven't been playing that well. The offensive line's definitely a concern for me. They beat up on a bad Cowboys team. We saw how bad the Cowboys are tonight. They barely beat the Giants, who had to kick 6 field goals. If the Giants can score 1 touchdown, they're in a position to win that game. So, the offensive line grades for the Ravens, right tackle 66, right guard 62, left guard 52. The center, Lindenbaum, has been really good. Tyler Lindenbaum's one of the better centers in the NFL. He's a really talented guy. Wide receiver grade 61, 60 for Aguilar, 67 for Flowers. The linebackers they're really missing Patrick Queen in the middle of that defense. So the linebackers have been pretty awful. Both linebackers 61, 54 grade. They're missing Patrick Queen in the middle of that defense for sure. Yeah, Malik Neighbors is their only player on the Giants. He's the only one that's any good. Daniel Jones has no one else to throw the ball to. Yeah, 15 targets. Wan'Dale Robinson had a lot of targets too. They had 38 passing target attempts. 29 of them were to 2 guys. They got to spread the ball out a little bit more. I don't know. The Giants don't do anything well. They can't run the ball effectively. Anyone on the offense not named Malik Neighbors is trash. How do you average 1.1 yard rushing in an NFL game? 24 carries, 1.1 yards per carry. How is that even possible? How is that even? Just reading through some of these comments. Yeah, the Saints-Falcons game is going to be a really tough one. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins, man. He's so stoic in the pocket. He can't move around at all. If the Saints can get any type of pass rush on Kirk Cousins, they win that game. Yeah, it was close. That ball was just out of his reach. But Daniel Jones is just so inefficient with the football. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 9,000 subscribers, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning into all my content. Super impressive, guys. I'm really, really thankful for all you guys tuning into the channel, showing me some support. It means a lot. Now, let's take a look at some of these games for next week, guys. A lot of really fun games to watch. A lot of really, really fun games to watch. All right, let's bring up the schedule for next week. Talk about some of these games. Yeah, I mean, you can't kick 6 field goals and win in the NFL. You're just not going to be able to do that. You got to score touchdowns. At some point, you got to like put the field goal kicker aside and go for a touchdown. It's just bad coaching, too. You know what I mean? Like, you know your defense isn't doing the best job stopping the Cowboys. Stop kicking field goals, man. You got to go for it. I could see that, too. Andy Dalton, he played great last week. Losing Adam Thielen was a big loss. No way, Jen. Football over hockey all day long. Yeah, Andy Dalton looked good, but losing Adam Thielen is tough. That's a tough loss for them. All right, guys, we got the Saints at the Falcons at -2.5 for the home Falcons. That's going to be a really close game. Vegas thinks this game's pretty much even. We got to see if the Saints can bounce back after that terrible performance last week versus the Eagles. We'll have to see if they can bounce back. Hamstring. Yeah, hamstring for Thielen. You saw when he caught that touchdown pass last week, he went down. He's on IR. Then we got the Rams at the Bears. That's a really interesting game, too. -3. You pretty much get 3 points as a home team, so Vegas thinks this game's about even as well. I like the Rams. If the Rams can beat, with that banged-up offense, can beat the 49ers, the 49ers, even with their injuries, are better than the Bears are. That's for sure. Yeah, the Cowboys aren't so good, Will. For sure, man. I thought Daniel Jones would have some magic in him, but he proved once again he's just a backup quarterback. Daniel Jones is nothing more than a backup quarterback in the NFL. He can't win you games. He had several opportunities to win that game for them. He just couldn't do it. Yeah, the Bengals have not been good this year. They could very easily start 0-4. Then the Bengals are just a lame organization. They're a cheap organization. They don't want to pay their guys more money. The Bengals have been awful this year, 0-3. Very well could move to 0-4. Bengals are given 4.5 points. I like taking Carolina in 4.5. That seems pretty juicy to me. No, I don't know, Carol. I don't know about the injury yet. It looked pretty bad, though. So, I don't know. They got a tough game next week against the Steelers. I'm not sure on the update on the injury quite yet, what's going on with Micah Parsons. But him and Lawrence both had to leave the game. The Cowboys are banged up. All right, then we have one of my favorite games of the week up next, guys. The Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are giving the Vikings 3 points, which was a little surprising for me. The Vikings have been playing great football, man. Jordan Love might return. We're not sure if he's coming back yet or not. No word on whether he's coming back yet, but we'll have to see. Here's the latest report. Love was a limited participant in Thursday's practice. Coach Matt LaFleur said we'll see. So it's gonna be a game time decision for Jordan Love. But a big division game, I don't see him sitting out and missing this game. I think he's gonna play. Yeah, the Vikings are playing some good football, man. Vikings look really, really good. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. That's going to be a great game. I'm not sure if Jordan Addison is going to play this week, so we'll have to check the injury report as we get closer. He was a limited participant in practice today, so he's getting closer and closer to playing, right? So, if he's a full go, I like the Vikings in this spot, man. I like Aaron Jones to have a big day, too. A revenge game in a spot where the Packers aren't necessarily great at stopping the run. So, the Vikings, I think, are a live dog. I think the Vikings are a live dog, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Then we have another great game. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road versus the Colts. The Colts got a great offensive line, but they haven't been able to put it together. Anthony Richardson is extremely inefficient with the football. Lots of turnovers. Kind of overthrows the ball a lot. Pittsburgh is given 1.5 points. Yeah, what's up, Anonymous? Yeah, Jordan Love, he's limited in practice, though, so I think they're going to, have him go through walkthroughs, get ready for this game. I think he plays. I think he plays on Sunday. I think he might be a little rusty, so that's why I like the Vikings, too, man. I really like the Vikings in that spot. I think I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers over the Colts. The Colts haven't showed me anything where I think they can win close, tough games. The Eagles score, it's going to be a close game, man. If you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, they are the questionable. Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs, Luke Odecki, all their stars on offense are questionable. Not great. Vita Vea, he's still questionable. Antoine Winfield, still questionable. He's not even practicing. But the Eagles have nobody, man. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, they're all probably going to be out this week. So I definitely think the Bengals can go 0-4. That defense is terrible, guys. If the 49ers go 13-4, that means you think they lose 2 games? You think they lose 2 games the rest of the year? Yeah, I don't know, Mario. I don't know about that, man. The Colts have looked bad their last 2 games, really, really bad. Yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals, they got a lot to prove this week. The offense looked decent, but their defense is awful. And the Bengals are really missing Joe Mixon, guys. Really, really missing Joe Mixon. If you haven't yet, guys, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Really helps get this out there. Helps me grow this channel. Sorry, I got dog hair on my nose. We're closing in. We need 3 more subscribers for 8,800, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't think the Eagles go 13-4, man. There's no way. I don't think the Eagles even get close to 13-4, guys. I don't even think close. And if you guys are interested, I'm giving out for my members only, all my bets, all my daily fantasy, all my survivor picks, each and every Friday for my members only. So if you want to check out my memberships, it's $4.99 a month. You get all my bets every Friday. My money line bets have been crushing it this year, dude. We took the Steelers last week. We took the Packers. Dominating, man. So if you even put 2 $10 bets on those 2 teams last week, it pays for almost a whole year of memberships to my channel. Ain't no way you an Eagles fan. What do you mean, George? I'm literally rocking the 1990 Reggie White jersey. It doesn't get any better than that, bro. But I'm just being honest about this team. Okay, Archibald. Yeah, I mean, I guess because he's a starting NFL quarterback, he falls into that category. I would never wear a Kenny Pickett jersey. Why would I ever do that to myself? Why would I put myself through that? Yeah, I mean, the Panthers' money line is not a horrible bet. You know what I mean? The juice is coming back pretty good. I don't hate that bet. The Bengals have looked awful. That defense gave up 4 straight touchdown drives to a rookie quarterback in a pretty inefficient offense. So, the Bengals aren't stopping anybody, man. Yeah, Kenny Pickett sucks. I mean, he looks pretty damn good. He was what out of all these quarterbacks, guys, he was my favorite one after watching the tape all off season. I like his mindset. I like his coachability, and he's like came through a lot of perseverance. Yeah, I think the Eagles are definitely a 10 to 12 win team. That's where I have them too, Kevin. They're not a 13 and 4 team in my opinion. You know, I think 12 wins, give or take 1 or 2 here is like right where they need to be. I'm a huge Jaden Daniels fan. I'm excited to see him this week in a winnable game versus Arizona. Arizona and the Commanders are very similar teams. They got young offenses that are pretty good and terrible defenses. But you got to remember, Cliff Kingsbury used to be the head coach of Arizona, so he knows a lot about that personnel. So the Commanders' money line bet, or taking the points, 3.5, not a bad bet. Probably the Seahawks. I would go flying waffle. I'd go the Seahawks. That offensive line's not very good. They have an okay defense. I don't believe in Geno Smith at all. If I'm in the playoffs and I'm playing Geno Smith, I'm licking my chops. That offensive line's not very good. So, if I had to pick one of those 3-0 teams that's going to get fraud checked, I'd say the Seahawks. Faux show. Nah, the Steelers' defense is too good, man. The Steelers' defense is going to keep them in a lot of games this year. Yeah, Sam Howell turns the ball over way too much, man. Yeah, the Chiefs have a pretty easy game this week against the Chargers. Chargers are really banged up. It looks like no Justin Herbert, no Joe Alt. I mean, they scored points last week. Justin Fields actually looked pretty good. Check out the box score. He played pretty well last week against a pretty good defense. I think Cliff Kingsbury knows that roster in and out, though, man. You got to remember that Cliff Kingsbury who's now the offensive coordinator of the Commanders, used to be the head coach of the Cardinals 2 years ago. So he knows a lot of the things they do well and not so well. So I like the Commanders in that spot. Both of their defenses are not very good. Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields looked good last week, man. So I wouldn't be underestimating Justin Fields this week. Yeah, Joe Alt, MCL sprain, he's out. The Chiefs should win that game pretty easily. Yeah, the Cowboys did not play well. The Giants kicked 38 field goals. It's just bad, sloppy football. Bad, sloppy football, guys. Yeah, the Tua injury is tough one, man. The concussion stuff is no joke. Aaron Rodgers has got to get a big win. He's got a home game against the Broncos this week. That should be fun to watch. Thanks, Pablo. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Kevin, you're 100% right. The Falcons are a fringe team, man. What's up, James? Go Birds! Go Birds, James! Yeah, man. Vic Fangio really surprised me. He did a great job scheming up. Thanks, Browns. I appreciate the shout-outs, bro. Yeah, Fangio really impressed me. He got that defense playing really well. I hope he can scheme up this week like he did last week, right? So there's tape on what the Broncos did to shut down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I expect Fangio to go in the lab and try to replicate that. Little paperboy hat. I mean, if you got to waste your energy on Carolina, man, that says something about your team. Go Birds! Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, everyone. We need 2 more subscribers for 8,800 subs. It's crazy, man. I never thought the channel would get this big, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. It means a lot to me, man. The Raiders, man, whew, awful. Thanks, Browns. Yeah, man, putting in that work, hitting the lab every day. I watch a ton of tape. So when I give you guys my prediction videos, I watch every game twice every week. It's Reggie White from the 1990 season. The brand's called Mitchell and Ness. They make like the nicest jerseys you can buy. Reggie Morgan, go Birds! Go Birds! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! We've got a big game this week. Oh, Kevin Clark, thanks, man. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. Yo, Andy Dalton, I think he could come up with another big win this weekend, you know? I think a Commanders, Carolina is like an interesting parlay that's probably paying back pretty good juice. The Giants are just so bad. They're so bad. Yeah, Pablo, Andy Dalton proved that he can still be an accurate, decisive quarterback in this league. And they don't have the best wide receivers. Adam Thielen's a little bit older. I like Deontay Johnson, who came over from Pittsburgh. He's pretty good. The rookie, Xavier Legette, he's pretty good too. Chuba Hubbard played well last week, guys, you know. I mean, Archibald, that's not true. Watch Andy Dalton in that game last week. He played well. You could think that he stinks, but, like, if you watch that game, he fit a lot of balls in really tight windows. He played really well. What's up, Carol? Yeah, I think the game's going to be close, right? There's big injuries on both sides. I really got to see who's playing and who's not playing to give you my score prediction, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. My initial thoughts are like Eagles like 2017. It might even be more lower scoring than that. I'm not saying Andy Dalton is, you know, the next Joe Burrow or something, guys. I'm just saying that, like, he's probably better than some of the guys that are starting right now. That's all that I'm saying. You think there's 30? You think Will Levis is better than Andy Dalton? Come on, dude. There's no way that Will Levis is better than Andy Dalton. You're crazy. You think Daniel Jones is better than Andy Dalton? Daniel Jones? You think Gardner Minshew is better than Andy Dalton? I can just keep rattling off names. I'm just saying, Andy Dalton's he's one of the better backups in the NFL. And, like, when he was bad in Cincinnati, Reggie's right. Like, their team was trash. Okay, so what does that matter? You said, I asked a question that, do you think there's 32 better quarterbacks than Andy Dalton? And I'm rattling off names that I think he's better than. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Jameis Winston, he's a top backup as well. But Andy Dalton is a top 5 backup in the NFL, and I think he would be starting on a lot of teams. Yeah, there's a lot of not great quarterback play right now. Yeah, there's definitely a scale of bumitude, right? You know, there's a sliding scale of bumness. Not all bums are created equal, man. There's stinky, stinky bums, and then there's just, like, you know, homeless bums. There's, like, living in a trash can bum, and then there's, like, you know, hiding out in someone's basement bum. Yeah, no one's saying Andy Dalton is like Josh Allen or something, guys. Whew, man, that's a tough question. I mean, I probably got to go Sean McVay, man. Or Mike Tomlin. I love Mike Tomlin. I just like Mike Tomlin's mindset. He's been doing it for so long and has been so consistent for decades. It doesn't really get much better than Mike Tomlin, man. But I want a head coach that can consistently win no matter what type of roster fluctuation there is. I mean, Andy Reid's up there as well. Archibald, yeah, living in a cardboard box house is better than living in a dumpster, right? I'll take the cardboard box house all day. I don't want to live in a dumpster. What other games are interesting this week? That Cleveland Raiders game should be a battle of the bums. Saints, Saints Atlanta, I like that game. I like Seattle and Detroit too. That should be a fun game. Yeah, Seattle Seahawks. Do they get fraud checked this weekend? Yeah, I like the Seahawks Lions game, man. The Seahawks, to me, the offensive line is still a little suspect. The games I've watched from Seattle this year, you know, they haven't played the best teams, and that offensive line is still, and Kenneth Walker being hurt still definitely hurts that team. I mean, minus Cross. Charles Cross has played great this year, the left tackle for Seattle, but everyone else has just been awful. Tomlinson, 63 grade. Williams, 61 grade. Bradford, the right guard, 46 grade. Forsythe, 64 grade. I don't know how much longer Geno Smith can continue to ball out with that bad offensive line play. Go Birds! Yeah, I think I might roll the dice this week with Houston. I'm circling them for my survivor pick. I like Houston. I like the Chiefs. You guys got any thoughts on survivor this week? What teams I should roll with? I like the Jets too. I think I'm circling the Jets. I'm circling the Chiefs for sure. And maybe the Texans. But I don't like picking teams that are coming off big blowout losses. So I'm a little nervous. But the Jaguars are just so bad. No, I think the Packers are a good team. I think their rush defense is a little sus for sure. But they're really well coached, right? And once they get Jordan Love healthy, they could be rolling. The rush defense is really bad. They've been getting horrible play from their D-line and their linebackers. Listen to this for the Packers. This is the defensive line grades. Smith is the high at 69.9. Preston Smith has been the only guy that's been even mediocre. Slayton, 43 grade. Clark, 37. Gary, 55. The linebackers, Walker and McDuffie, 49 and 40. The Packers defense has not graded out well at all this year. The offensive line, you know, some guys are playing pretty good. Some guys are playing really bad. We'll have to see if Jordan Love plays this week. Whew, that's close. Well, the Cowboys did a good job shutting down Devin Singletary tonight. Is that because the Giants are just terrible? I think I agree with Archibald. I think the Colts are definitely the worst. But the Packers are right up there, man. That defensive line has been awful. And when you match them up with a team like the Vikings, it's going to be a tough ask, man. The Vikings' offensive line has played really well. The defense has played pretty good, too. So, it's going to be a really fun game to watch. I'm really excited to watch this Vikings-Packers game. It's definitely the game I'm probably most interested this week. It's really going to lay the foundations of this NFC North division. Because if you look at the way the Vikings offensive line matches up against the linebackers and the D line of the Packers, man, the Vikings might run the ball right down their throat. No, I don't think so. Is he still on there? Yeah, Finley the dog. The Pack's rush defense is not very good, man. Their linebacker play has been pretty terrible, too. I'm surprised they haven't sprinkled in Edgerrin Cooper a little bit more. He's one of my favorite players in the draft. I don't see a fly, man. I don't see one, man. Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. The Bills have looked great so far this year. Oh, you're a jerk, man. Steve, you're a jerk. But yeah, man, the Vikings offensive line, the tackles have been playing great. 82 and 75 grade. Tackle on center, Brandon Bradbury been playing pretty good. The guy's been playing the worst is Ed Ingram. But yeah, I look for Addison to come back this week. It's gonna be a fun game. Steve, you gotta subscribe to the channel now after you pulled that fast one on me, bro. Nice job, nice guys. We just hit 8,800 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Means a lot to me, guys. Appreciate you. All right, everyone. The dog just got up. She's got that look in her eye. She's got to go out for a walk. So I'm going to wrap it up tonight, guys. All my members-only videos are coming out tomorrow. So if you're interested, check out my memberships in the description down below. Check out the channel if you haven't yet subscribed. Appreciate you guys. I haven't heard anything. Nothing's been announced on the injury yet. So I'll keep you guys posted. I don't see anything yet. But I'm going to take off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.